Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Andy, Carl, Mus, and George. And we are the Monday Blues, coming to you off the back of a swan dive, let's call it. Absolute shit show of a performance against the Sydney Swans. Look, credit to them; they are the best team in the league at the moment, playing some really, really good footy. But a rough performance. I will find the names of those because we did put out a competition. Well, not a competition, but just like a small little contest for those who to help us name the video title for the review, and I'll find the names and I'll give you guys a quick shout out. But
I've got them.
You've got them?
Got them. Shout out. Yep, shout out. Two people actually put in Swan Dive. So Kathy K, 1972. Cheers to you, Kathy. Thanks for putting your suggestion in. Well done. And also Franco Brancatisano. I hope I said that right. But Franco, both you and Kathy had Swan Dive, so thank you both.
Thank you. Maybe we can make this a regular thing. We'll quickly go around the grounds. It was another early game, early on in the week at least. It was a Friday night game. How was your weekends, gents? Mus, I'll kick it off with you.
It was piss poor. I think probably Amal, you were the one that sort of called out and alluded to the fact that we'd probably be, a little bit behind from a quality perspective. But I don't know. For me, it was pretty average. It's like we didn't even show up at all, and that put a dampener on the. I don't even know what day was it. Friday, the game for the rest of the weekend. Here we are on Monday talking about it. I think watching a few of the other games, it was like other teams can bring it. Why can't we? Yeah.
Carl, what about you?
Carl?
Yeah. Where do you start? It looked like it was going to be, a good game. We got off to a cracking start. We always knew they were going to come back. Just didn't think it was going to be like that and that quick. It just happened so quick. Ruins the weekend. But you know what? West Coast beating Melbourne makes it a little bit better, I could say.
And Harley Reid beating Melbourne.
What a guy.
Either way.
What a guy. Kangas
makes the loss not so bad.
Andy, how are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was all right. Watched Carlton play absolute garbage football. It just sets the mood, doesn't it? Like it's just, it left a bad taste in my mouth. But the rest of my weekend was okay. It was okay. It was I like that we record on a Monday and not straight after the game, because if it was straight after the game, I'll tell you what, we would not be on air again. It was things were going off in my household, to say the least.
I think if anyone wants a bit of evidence on that, again, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the Essendon review from last year.
That's why we don't review games straight after.
Although, look, it did make for good viewing, I must say. I mean, we still go back to that review from time to time, and we had some challenges that night as well. But anyway,
5 Arabs sooking.
Literally.
That's what it was. It was just
a bit more than that.
George, how was your weekend?
Before I get to it, actually, just again, a quick shout out to our sponsor, bluescrypto.com. I know we just to kick it off, I'll pop some info in the chat. So whether you're experienced trader or a new investor looking to get your feet in, it's a really cool investment opportunity. So I'm not one to give financial advice, but check bluescrypto.com. Appreciate you guys getting around us. There it is. Thank you, Mal, for popping that up. So yeah, bluescrypto.com. Get around them, have a look. Thank you, Mal, for popping that in the chat. Thank you for getting around us all. Appreciate it.
And now your weekend, sir.
My weekend, yes. Friday night, how good was that first quarter? Sorry, just how good was the first half of that first quarter? It's the hope that kills you. You just sort of thinking, geez, we're not going to steamroll, but we might steal this. We might get a great result here. And then just watching a train wreck, it just reminded me of that scene in The Simpsons. Stop! He's already dead. It's just like you're watching it, but you don't want it's just hard. You can't pull away from it. And maybe it's that. Maybe it's like the drink theory. It's the first interstate game I missed this year and we lost. So maybe get around. Fund my interstate trips. Look, rest of the weekend. It's like we say, right? It you shouldn't let it control your mood, but it does. It does. In reality, it does, right? Yeah, you wake up the next morning and let's face the weekend without a win. Put away the Carlton jacket. Can't really wear that today after that loss. So,
you wear it every day, mate. You wear it loud. You wear it proud.
Well, that's the got the Carlton. I'm not going to stand up here, but the Carlton boxer shorts on. So
show us.
Absolutely not. Big shout.
That was
Big
concerning.
shout. Speak of the hey, no judgment here. Big speak of the devil with the donation. Really appreciate you, mate. There we go. Thanks for pinning it, Amal. Just hope we don't play Swans in Sydney in the finals. Playing them at the MCG should be a different result. Well, how good that elimination final. It was a great game. Thanks all again for getting around us. That they were pumping up the game pre the game, looking at the memories of the elimination final, and obviously I feel like Sydney are a bit of a different team. And I've always said that I think Sydney without Buddy are going to be an absolute force. I felt like Buddy stifled them in the last couple of years, stagnated their growth. But they're a force, man. They're a force, and they're rolling onto a home final. So good luck to them. But yeah, I agreed. If we can face them, or if we avoid facing them, but if we do at home, it'll be great. How was your weekend, Amal?
Started good, ended up shit. Right, it was literally in line with the storyline of the footy. So, started the first quarter off brilliantly, thinking we're 26 points up with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Holy crap, this is brilliant. Same thing happened the next day. I'm on the golf course, and for any golfers out there, over 9 holes, I was 1 over. I was playing some serious golf, and my golfing buddies, shout out to them, Eddie, Jason Harrick, they were like, you're playing like a scratch golfer. And then the second 9 holes, forget about it. I went 18 or 19 shots over on the second 9, which is freaking just shithouse. Exactly what Carlton did. Exactly what Carlton did against Sydney. So it wasn't great. And then on the Sunday, I felt sick. I don't know whether it was because of the footy or because my body was just exhausted or what it was, but not fun. Didn't feel good at all. Yeah, just ugly. Just an ugly weekend.
I hate when we lose.
It's ugly.
I hate it so much, especially when we play early on, because then you got to watch teams you hate win. It just it makes it even worse.
Let's not talk about the ladder. The ladder.
The ladder doesn't exist this week.
Let's talk about the ladder. We are 10th after round 10 or 9, whatever it was. What round was it? 9, 10? 10. We're fucking 10th.
Laughing for another reason, actually.
At the start of the year,
Mr. Sorry, Ken, to cut you off. Mr. Morris has donated $7.99. Thank you so much. There, someone popped that up. And Mom, loving the mustard top. I've got an idea for the group, the Wiggles. Mal, you're leading the group with the Wiggle top, apparently.
Wiggle.
He was purple. Shot him. Who's Jeff?
I didn't even know mustard.
He's long gone. That's long gone.
Name Jeff.
Yeah. So anyway, we're 10th.
Saying?
We're 10th. At the start of the year, if someone had told you that by round 10 we're going to be 10th, how would you have reacted then?
I would have thought bullshit would be higher.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been in the 8. Let's be real.
Yeah,
I
would have said
the ladder undefeated, to be honest.
Nah.
Nah.
Predictions, I think, at the start, did we not?
Hey,
We sort of said, top 2, top 4. I think I had a sort of sitting outside the 4, but not 10.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we were at this point of last season, we were 10th and sliding, so we were at the equivalent points pretty much of last season.
Genuinely, what's the difference between our season this year and last year?
No, we're in a better position this year
How?
because we're only one game out of the top 4.
But other teams look like they're getting better.
Yeah.
We've had a hard run though with injuries, yeah.
I know.
We've done it hard with injuries, and we're playing the best sides.
But if Voss isn't using injuries as an excuse, why should anyone else? Why should we?
Because it's realistic.
Because he won't. He's the coach.
It's realistic. It's a realistic. I'm not saying it's all on the injuries, but like that performance on the weekend is not injuries. That's not injury. That's effort and work rate, and we'll get into that. But there's still upside to come in the team. So last year we didn't know where the upside was coming from. We didn't know. How's this? It's not going to change. You know what I mean? Whereas now we've got something to look forward to. We're playing the tough sides, right? The team, other than Adelaide, the teams we've lost to have been respectable sides. So again, one win out of top 4. We're in a way, but it's a totally different feeling to last year. I think we've just all got PTSD.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but for me, I sort of base it on form and what I've seen and what the boys have dished out. There's been nothing convincing. Oh yeah, 2024 has been nothing convincing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
yeah,
Well, sorry, Mal, you go.
I think we're far from the second half footy of 2023. We're closer to the first half footy of 2023 than we are the second half. Way closer. There's nothing about our performances aside from maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the first quarter against Sydney was convincing.
Anyway,
I think like you got to take into consideration. I think the stat was we lost. There's 60 games of football between them. They've lost like the crop of players that are injured, and like I highlight like when Weiters went down. We'll go into the game a bit more, but when Weiters went down, the structure that was just lost in the back line. I was watching Suns versus Cats on Thursday night, right? And yeah, very impressive win from the Suns. Obviously, Jezza and Hawkins still out. They still kicked 100. They still kicked 100 points. Now I question if could we do the same, right? If you because we rely so much on our best players and our superstars. Like I question that if we don't have Kerner, we don't have Charlie. Let's just say in that game, do we kick 100?
We're gonna kick 100 with them.
We don't kick 100. Yeah, that's right.
But it's interesting. Like I was just thinking about it when I noticed that. Okay, well, I tip Suns. I'm like they're going to win. It's up in Darwin. Cats got a few big outs. Although they got smashed, yes, they still kicked a half decent score. But not comparing the two games or the two teams at all. I'm just saying we are, and Andy says it all the time. We're so reliant and top heavy on those superstars to perform to get us over the line, and we need those. For lack of a better term, your bottom 6 or your bottom 10 players to make that effort. So, and when I don't want to go into individuals now because I'm just going to get angry if I start talking about
Corey Durden. Corey fucking Durden. Why the fuck has he got a 2-year contract? Why? Fucking why has he got a 2-year contract? I don't understand why. Why don't we make him work? He adds nothing to our fucking team. He adds nothing to our forward line. He adds nothing to our mids. He doesn't tackle. God forbid he fucking made a bit of body contact. He does nothing. Put anybody in from the fucking resis and they will do a better job than Corey Durden. He is a liability on the field. He adds nothing. Fantasia, we said we never want to see him on the field again. He's fucking playing. There is no selection integrity. Fuck. Sorry, boys. I just fucking lost it because I hate seeing Corey Durden in our fucking team. Well, he does not belong in our team. It's very simple. He adds nothing. There is no value there.
He's got potential. He's got potential. Isn't that what everyone's been saying for the last?
We're just giving. We gave him a 2-year contract. Think about that. I don't care if we're paying him $25 a year, right? Whatever we're paying him is overs. It's just overs. He's not good. He's not a footballer. And I'm done seeing people try to say, but like Mus just said, potential.
For 5 touches. That's what Mus meant.
Six, I think.
He got
Three?
three touches.
Three.
He got three
Potentially
touches.
5.
Well,
I was
shout
watching
out,
the whole
shout out,
game.
shout
Yeah.
out to Rocco from the Jumper Punch, who highlighted that he had minus 3 meters gained.
Yes,
Which is-
exactly.
Which is
He took us
double his
backwards.
height. Double his height.
On Corey Durden's contract, we actually do have exclusive footage of when his manager signed the contract. So I'll just quickly overlay it. This is exclusive footage for everyone. All right, here we go.
We have exclusive footage of Corey Durden's manager making a clean getaway for a 2-year contract before the Carlton Football Club changes its mind.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Absolutely, that's exclusive Monday Blues footage. You're not going to get that anywhere else.
And Carl broke that story. How about Carl with
Yeah.
that news reporter there? But
Thanks, Carl.
you might have noticed our studio's got a bit of an upgrade here. So
Okay.
shout out to everyone and your support. Here, just over the 1 year mark, we were on a new streaming service. So we've got a couple of new little functionalities, and excited to roll them out. Starting with that one.
We've got plenty of those to come over the next couple of episodes. We're just waiting on a few announcements from the club, and then we'll we'll start to play some of the videos.
I'm fucking dirty that we signed Durden. I'm still like raging. After that weekend, like after that performance on the weekend, how can we ever justify having him in our side?
That's been him every week. It's been him every week.
100%,
Bar one game, we
100%.
kicked 2 goals.
100%, 100%. He went back and cost us a couple of goals as well. Like, this is the thing. He's not, like, I don't see any positive. And I just looked in the chat. J-Baggers made a very good point. Worst of all, we are so desperate for a small that we'll bring Motlop in without any match fitness.
Mm.
So, like, do you know what I mean?
An underdone Motlop. You say an
That's
underdone
actually-
Motlop. Like, we're putting a lot of we're putting a lot of emphasis saying we can't wait to have Motlop back. But I fully believe the talent, the speed, the effort that he has is going to show more. And I said it on Thursday night when we done the preview. I personally probably would have rathered a Bins, maybe even playing in his not natural position. I reckon he would have shown more. Again, not saying that with Durden, obviously the structure of Durden and Fantasia, because they're the only small forwards we have at the moment that are fit and ready to go. But try something different, right? Bins is going to give you speed. The guy racks up touches in the VFL. I understand it's a different game. Roll the dice, give it a go. Because right now we've seen week on week on week on week. You know what you're going to get at the moment with Corey Durden. Always had a good couple of weeks. I think he kicked one. He had relatively quiet afternoon. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. But Durden and then Fantasia coming in. Roll the dice. Try something else. It doesn't hurt. It's not going to what. Can you get worse than 3 touches and minus 3 meters gained?
Zach Fisher would have been brilliant. Just saying.
I want to know on what basis we gave him 2 years, but like, let's be real.
Oh,
On what basis?
as members, we should demand to know why. As members, as paid up members, we should have the right to know why we are wasting our money on someone who provides nothing on field. Is it because he's a good bloke? Are we still that club where we're just gifting contracts because he's a decent bloke, because he's a cool social media story? Because they drop his personal story once a year. Once a year, they'll drop his personal family story, and that's it's a story. But we're in the business to try win a premiership. Like, I don't care about his story. Like, are we just giving contracts to decent blokes now? Nah, man. It burns me. It burns me. And Fantasia. Fantasia. Bloke couldn't get a game at 2 other clubs, but we signed him.
Essendon quietly, and it just like a senior head in the forward line. You're expecting obviously whatever that the guidance, that leadership, but you need to lead by example, right? You need to lead by example, and right now it's well, like I said, I'd rather 17 players on the field.
Bring back Ed Kerno.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of Ed Kerno, I don't want to say, I don't want to jinx it, but if we don't get the result on Saturday, fucking call Ed, man. Get the phone to Ed. Set up that bonfire, bro. Light that bonfire. The club's got to come down because it's not panic stations yet. But if that happens on Saturday, call Ed.
The thing is, right, there's a lot of passengers, though. It's not obviously fucking I'm Durden's biggest hater, but there is Durden's and Fantasias, but there's other passengers as well who just, for me, I mean, I'll call that Zach Williams and the likes of those players, but they're just fringe players, in my opinion, fringe players that shouldn't be getting a game. But I don't know. There's potential.
How did you
them.
find Zach's game?
Rubbish.
Zach Williams.
I thought it was rubbish. Considering he was on the game, on the ground the whole game.
Mm.
What do you get? 10 touches, 12 touches? Any impact? Nothing that I saw.
And a goal, yeah.
That tackle on the goal was his only impact he had.
1 goal, 11 touches, all kicks.
And I get he was playing a different role, all the above. Probably not the best game. Yeah, probably not the best game to sort of, jump up and down. I mean, he did okay. Wasn't great, but
yeah, I reckon he was probably this much better than what he would have been in the backline.
How's this for a fault?
Would you continue with that experiment though? Zach Williams on the half-forward line?
You can't judge it on one game.
I'd put Cowan in Zach Williams' spot and put Zach Williams in Durden's spot and put Durden in the local.
Well, he was drafted. He came over to Carlton as a forward. He came over as a forward, Zach Williams.
No,
he was a defender.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
We bring him over
He
as a
came
mid.
over as a forward.
No, he was a defender, and we played him in the thing. He's
We
always played
brought him
half
on
back
as a
at
forward.
GWS.
We brought him on
We
as a
brought him
forward.
in as a midfielder.
We bring him in as a
Have a
midfielder.
look. Have a look.
Midfielder.
Go back to when he first came. I was reading
I think
into this. I
you're
was
very
reading an
wrong,
article. No. In the comments, get in there. Someone say something.
Midfielder.
He's
Yeah.
half back.
Midfielder.
No one's
half
got back
back
up.
now.
He's half back flank.
When we
Midfielder.
when we brought him in, he brought him in as a forward.
He was
with the
he was
intent of
a
playing
half-back
forward.
flanker, cuz.
No. When we brought him on, the intent
We
was
bring
to
him
play
as a
forward.
midfielder. He's a
I'll bet
defender.
you
We
a
bring him
bottle of
as a
Shilajit.
midfielder.
I'm going to bet you a bottle of Shilajit.
You know what? I'm telling you, boys, that's what the intent was. But anyway, go with it.
Let us know in the chat if you know whether he came in as a midfielder, forward line player, or just purely.
George has
forward.
already jumped in there.
He just went in the back line because we had no one else.
Nah, he went in the back line because he turned to shit in the midfield. Oh, sorry, he didn't turn to shit. He was shit.
He was never a midfielder.
Yeah, that's right. So he was just
I think
shit.
George is saying
Well,
play him as a thing. Well,
It
I'm
was-
sorry, brother. He was a half-back mid.
He was a kid, and the rest, as in the forward.
No, he was never
Kid.
bringing as a forward, Moose.
I won't stand
Shout out
corrected
to-
because I read it. I read it somewhere, and I will find it.
No, that was probably Lebanese Google. Gave you the wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where you're looking, bro. I remember losing it that we signed a half-back flanker to play midfield.
That's what he came in for, to destroy our money.
Peter
Yeah.
Peter Pesamenti has the answer right here. Williams came in to destroy our money. Yes.
Now, I'm not off Williams yet. I'm not. I think
Off him fuck a long time ago. Rubbish.
Yeah, nah.
But
But
I
you know what?
didn't know you were ever on him.
His body language is shit. Everything about
Throw
him
him
is
in the
shit.
forward line. He likes kicking goals. He loves a bit of attention. So chuck him in the forward line.
Shout out to everyone. There's just
Ur-
under 100 people in the chat.
Ur put up a comment, right? I'm gonna share Ur's, right? This is how much we're paying a guy that we don't know where his best position is.
my Uncle Sam. Williams came as a mid, but should have been mid of the rubbish bin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 100 in the chat.
It's always
Like button
fun
if
when
you
we
haven't
lose,
already.
isn't it? I love it's fun when we lose. We just fucking go hard.
Well, let's
So do you boys like? How do you feel right now about the rest of the year? What's the? Sorry, Morris just donate. Thanks for the donation. Kerno's
On your
lack of
Morris.
desire to chase displayed laziness. Absolutely.
We'll talk about
Absolutely.
Kerno and his game because I was filthy over the weekend with Kerno's game. Maybe look,
Mhm.
it's probably not Kerno himself, right? But there's obviously a directive. Might as well talk about him now. There's obviously a directive from the club where Kerno is now sort of the floater between the forward line and the back line, depending on what's happening within the game. Now, for 3/4 of the game against Sydney, we were losing. Why on earth, when we are 300 points down against Sydney, is Kerno, our leading goal kicker, going into the back line?
I don't mind
panic.
that move. I don't
That's
mind
panic.
that move. But
Late
that's
in
what
the
every
quarter.
team does.
That's a
Teams
loser
do it all the
mentality.
time.
Loser mentality,
Nah,
but
Shit mentality.
Absolutely
I mean,
not. He's one of your best markers in the league, and they're just.
Yeah, did he
"Oh,
take a
you
mark?
need
Did he take a mark?
Well,
Yeah.
Weitering was off the ground, so who's going to take your marks?
that's why we
Who's
the
gonna
concept
cover
of bringing
the
in
forward?
Well, we brought Marchbank in for that reason.
Yeah, but but now Weitering's gone, so Marchbank all of a sudden is elevated up to their number one forward. You have to have your best reader of the ball taking the intercept marks defensively. Every team
That's
does. Every
that's
single team does.
putting a hand up, going, "Yep, all right, we're done, boys. Throw in the back line, game over."
That's the cunning
Yeah.
back.
Nah, because it works. It works every time most times we've done it. It's worked. We just had to stem the blood. We had to stem the bleeding. You have to. I got worried when both Charlie and Harry were there. That's when, for me, was like, okay, they're going to mark it. Then what? Like, that's when I got worried. But I don't mind Charlie going back at all. It works. It saved us against Richmond. It saved us from getting smacked against Brisbane when they done it early. I think. In the second quarter. So I don't think it's losing. I think it's just management. It's trying to manage the bleeding. So I don't think that's a big deal. I don't know why you guys are losing it over that. It's when Harry and Charlie are there. You've lost both avenues to go.
I don't mind it late in a quarter.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't mind it when there's a couple of minutes left. I think it was concerning. I think it was the second or the third when there's about 10 minutes left. From the point of view, like they were avalanching us with goals, right? But at that stage, you like when if he gets it, we all of a sudden like down the ground. Yeah, if TDK's resting or Pito, might be an option on the wing or whatnot, and then you got Harry on his own. But like you said, if Harry's going back as well, all of a sudden we've lost that extra avenue to goal. He doesn't look 100% right. He was talking contracts, and George wanted to give me $1 million a year, 8 years to go to North. On your
Shout out Jay Taylor, sent us the greatest audio clip of all time. I'm sure we'll post it, in the coming days or whatever. That was brilliant. Thanks, Jay. And your D's got smashed by the Eagles, so cop that in the mill.
Do you think he's carrying something, Kerner? Because there was like some efforts where he was they were getting the rebound and he was sort of chasing and then like half giving up on it, and then he realized that they were taking the time to find an option, so he sped up again. I don't know. Just it looked off.
Yeah, he is. I was remembering on the net is carrying bitchness. He's being a bitch. Needs to man up a tad.
Oh jeez. Hey, I'm sick of seeing Kerner wrestle with people. Like, stop doing jiu-jitsu before you go out for the mark. Just go out for the mark first time. You're a strong bloke. Stop wasting your time.
He needs to apply more pressure too.
Drop him, man. Drop him.
Can't drop him.
You can't.
Why? Why?
Why? You can't.
Kerner, drop him. Why? Why not?
He's kicking 2-3 goals a game.
He's fucking equal first to the common.
Right.
Fantastic. Good on him.
Bring in Harry Lemmy.
When you bring in that attitude, that body language, that attitude, fuck that, man. No.
Hey, I'm kind of with you, bro. I'm kind of with you because you hold everybody to the same standards. I truly believe that. But he's still kicking 2-3 goals a game.
Yeah, you can't drop him.
Interesting.
That's the only thing saving him.
He could slap Voss in the face and he won't get dropped. He's going to get dropped.
Probably has.
Shout Maz there.
And that maybe Sydney had purposely watered the ground. I don't know.
You know what?
Maybe we don't use Grippo.
I had someone mention that to me today, actually, that it looked like, because Sydney was quite, like, the weather wasn't that bad. And the ground was just soaking as if it had rained for
they were sliding everywhere.
Yeah. So they probably saw how we couldn't handle the wet against Melbourne. Who knows?
Turn the sprinklers on, you reckon?
To be honest, we can't handle the wet. We can't handle the dry. Every time there's a bit of pressure applied, I feel like we just get fumbly as fuck. It's really bad. What
was your how do you guys feel? Let's talk about the game, the first quarter.
Let's review the game.
There's too much to talk about.
We're still obviously emotional.
How did you feel on the first 15 minutes? Like the absolute burst. And I'll put it out here. I'll call it out. I just felt the tipping point for me. And even though he scored a goal after this, when Harry missed that kick.
Oh, I'll punch my fridge.
When nothing's safe. No white goods are safe in your house.
Harry needed the 50 meters there, is what he needed.
Well, it was should have been, but
but fuck, now you don't miss that, man.
Yeah, 15 meters out, 20 meters out. Like when he missed that kick, and I'm like, oh man, like even though we had the lead, and then I always kicked. I'm pretty sure I always kicked the next one. I still
Yeah.
felt uneasy, and I'm like, I just had a bad feeling.
Fucking
What
drop
was-
him.
How did you?
He should have
How
went
did,
to
how did
snap.
you guys feel? How did you guys feel with the start?
I'm not sure, but Justin Akari has just posed the question to Mus. I need to know what Mus did when he missed that kick.
Yeah, it was a bad
He
one.
threw his other shoulder out.
Oh, bro, that was bad.
Look,
I-
if you told me
I-
we were going to be up at quarter time, I would have said to you, look, yeah, you're probably tripping. We're probably up behind the goal or two. But when we come up like that, but you know what? They kicked just the replies. But we talk about this all year. Every week we talk about it. We give away goals so easy. We do our balls in to kick a goal and then instant reply. But then they just kick too many, and
we lose.
Their mids,
that,
man.
that was the first quarter. But,
mids.
yeah.
Their
Yeah.
mids just walked through us. They weren't even. They were just walking.
Training drill.
past-
What was the excuse for that, though? All right, we want to say backs. We had a few backs out. We want to say forward line, no smalls. All right, but what was the
that's
excuse for
pure-
the mids?
You know what the
Pure-
problem is?
midline midfield pressure, bro.
Speed.
Has to be.
But why? How?
Mm.
I reckon.
they're a quick
I don't know.
midfield.
They tagged. I think they tagged Walsh
Yeah, they did.
after quarter
Jordan.
time. After quarter time, and then I think Cripper just. I think he was tagged. I think for a bit as well, but just lack of pressure. They're a
Well-
talented midfield, Sydney, very talented. Probably the most talented in the league, and I think the quality difference showed, but the desire and effort was on show for everyone to see.
That's
Our
what I
lack-
wanted to
Our
go.
lack of, and they were on.
They got a great
So-
coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting,
Sit on Walsh and Cripps, and we're done. That's it.
Thanks, Nazi.
Can you say? Oh, I was going to say, can you say his name? Hey, what? Warner, Chad Warner, bursting away from Hewitt and Kennedy at every contest, like with the speed. Like we just looked slower. We
And
can't.
they're both
Can't
slow
keep up with them.
I won't lie. That was the first
Blakey
time.
was just having a laugh as well, wasn't he? Just
Mm.
every time he could, just sprint it out. No plan, just sprinting.
The
You know
only
what
one
it
that
is,
got him
right?
was Zach Williams, I think.
Yeah,
That
it was.
first- That first 10 or 15 minutes in that game where we were up was because there was no pressure around our mids. Sydney
Mhm.
brought one or two more people into the stoppage, right? All of a sudden, there's no space. We're contracted, right? We're being squished like this with pressure, applied pressure, conceived pressure, whatever you want to call it. And all of a sudden, we don't know what the heck to do with the ball.
You know what that is, though? That's what you call the coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone made the comment a little earlier, but Voss has continuously been outcoached. I think anyone could outcoach Voss at this point. It's so clear that we only have one game plan and no plan B. It goes back to the same conversations that we were having last year. It's the same shit. It's just we've got one way and one way only. And if a team can figure us out quick, Sydney's a great team. All credit to them. It took them all of 10 minutes to work out what our game plan was and stifle it. There's no plan B.
I don't think we have
Do you
plan A.
guys?
No, good point, Carl. Good point.
So
What is plan A?
So-
What is it?
I'll tell you what plan A is. It's Pitternet in the middle, and we're trying to get that clearance game going and our contested game going. And since Pitternet's been in, I think we're 2-4. Now our game style has totally changed since Pitternet has come in. I think before Pitto came, I'm not blaming this just on Pitto, right? I'll just put that out there. But he's the constant because when he's in, we're a lot slower and we play a contested game. And that's what got us to beat, I think, GWS, and we lost to Adelaide the week before. And before Pitto came in, we were playing a transition game. And I think we were ranked 2 or 3 in the league for scoring from transition. And that's what we were lacking last year. And we fixed up this year. And then Pitto comes back in and we've lost our contested game. And we've lost our clearance game. So is it maybe Pitto that, or maybe the game plan we've got around having Pitternet in the team that needs to change potentially? Because that's the constant.
Is it enough of a sample size though? Because like GWS, we smashed them in the middle. So is it enough of a sample size?
The observation around that is that when we've got Pitto in the midfield, we're very all-out attack, right? And we're contested and we get it forward as soon as possible. With TDK rucking, I felt like it was more defensive, and even our mids were kind of reactive as opposed to being all-out attack.
Mm.
And the consequence of that is we were losing a lot of the centre midfield clearances, but we were up and about on the rest of the ground and getting that ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it does. Fair point.
That's that's what I kind of feel. It's bust or nothing with Pitternet in the midfield. And with TDK, we're a bit more structurally sound defensively.
I think the stat is like we score or give up scores from clearance more than anyone in the league. So, like you said, it's all or nothing. We're scoring from clearances, we're scoring from stoppages, but we're also conceding from stoppages. We're not defending them very well.
We're slow in the midfield. That's what the problem is.
I think we're slow all around the ground.
But our midfield is very, very slow.
And
who's our quickest midfielder? Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
Nah,
good point. Grundy put them both in his back pocket. Both of them.
Oh, Grundy was all over him, yeah.
What's concerning as well, I think, was a stat from rounds 5 to 9, 17th for points against, and only North worse. And there you go, second behind North for entries and defensive 50.
There you go.
And second behind North for points scored against, points conceded.
Shout out to Aiden. So just shout out to Aiden's mum real quick. She's a bit unwell. He messaged me earlier and said, would you boys shout her out, please? So, Moss, do you want to shout her out?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're her favourite.
Hope mum's on the mend, mate. Look after her. And if you need anything, definitely yell out. And we'll send you the link so she can watch it later on, obviously. So thank you. Get well.
Shout out to Aiden's mum.
Get well, Aiden.
Get better soon.
Anyway, fuck Corey Durden.
Anyways, look, here's my
Are the alarm bells ringing?
We need Adam Saad back in the team, and we need him fast, boys.
We're
missing that run off that back line.
Well, do you guys trust that when he's in, that he's going to be fit to go?
Nah, fuck no.
I have zero faith in our strength and conditioning. I have zero faith. Zero.
The numbers are alarming now. The numbers are starting to become
everyone. The whole AFL world's picked up on it. Everyone.
On what?
On our soft tissue issues and how regularly it's occurring for the same people, and it's constant, and it's not in game. It's never in. Aside from Chera, but everyone else, it's happened in training. Like what? I feel like I played footy for one season, right? Just one season. I couldn't. My body couldn't deal with it. Hamstring issues, patella tendonitis. Hey,
what Aussie?
Adam Saad's
centre-half bench.
Centre-half water boy.
Halfback bench. No,
peeled the oranges.
Halfback flank I was playing. But yeah, I feel like whenever we played a shit game, right? It was like the Tuesday evening session was like a hard running session where they really ripped into you for playing like crap on the weekend. Is that what we're doing? Is that what Carlton's doing on Tuesdays? It's like every media like pundit at the moment, ex-AFL player, saying that usually during the season they really bring back on training to make sure that the bodies are ready to go for game day. Are we actually like working them out properly on a Tuesday to give it to their lives?
Well, you reckon on Tuesday they'll rock up to say run up the hill, run 50 laps? You reckon one of them ones?
Wow, I don't remember that. The hill.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, run up the hill. That's what we used to skip or just hide in the little. There was little ditches in the hill. Just hide in between.
And then when everyone's coming back, you join them.
You run down.
I think they were talking about the after the prelim and then planning ahead for pre-season. And I'm no Jason. Durden out. Marlene.
I would, but I'd have to shave my arms and I can't be bothered.
What?
Aerodynamics.
Like a skivvy.
Jesus, you're wearing 2 jumpers.
3 jumpers, guys. 3 jumpers. It's
the insulation there. Nice. I'm no.
Any laser want to sponsor us?
Just a mile, actually.
It wouldn't work.
Sorry,
I'm very clearly no image of fitness over here, but but in terms of like the training block and the plan they had for preseason, there was discussion that to get to that next level, it was putting him through a very, very, very intense block of training, and then obviously there was the round 0 game and planning for the bye. So that was well publicized. Like, it was a well publicized move, and we can probably turn around now and say, was it the correct one? Probably not, based on the amount of soft tissue injuries. I'm not a physio. I'm not any of that. But it's just coincidental that through one of the alleged toughest training blocks ever, off season and preseason, that this is conspired, right? So,
well, Luke Hodge was surprised about it, and Luke Hodge played under Andrew Russell, so that must tell you something.
So yeah, it's funny you said that, because that's something I heard as well. That I think, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Morris, who spoke to someone else, and they made a good point that apparently a lot of these like medics and that are pointing it back to that training block, that really high intensity training block. So I mean, if that's the case, then whoever's idea that is has to go.
The thing is, so George, it goes back to, obviously at this point in time, and this, halfway through the season, there's nothing so demanding and extensive that happens prior. So the strength and conditioning is what needs to be maintained to get them through the rest of the year. So my question is, okay, they've done what they've done prior. It's not that you're going to get injuries 3 months down the track. That falls away because the strength and conditioning hasn't been maintained for that period, not because of what they did 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eddie Maguire, I think it was Eddie Maguire on Footy Class last week saying, and this is before, Weir's injury, word of TDK as well, but like Eddie, I think it was saying that the most under pressure person at the moment in football is Andrew Russell, like, because fingers are being pointed at him. So he was under the spotlight last week. And you look at his getting some players right and back and stuff like that, and getting them fit and firing again, your Kernos, your Martins and whatnot. But then there's the players that are consistently breaking down as well. So you got to start asking questions when, like we highlighted it, I think it was Thursday, Martin, Marchbank, Cunningham, for a number of years, McGovern, like a lot of these blokes were missing large parts of the season. So it's concerning, and players that we rely on, unfortunately.
So where do you guys think we're at? Like, if you had to make a prediction for the rest of the season now, up until this point and onwards, where do you think we'll end up? How are you feeling? Are you optimistic about the rest of the year? Are you worried? Where do you guys think we are?
I'm waiting for the Essendon game. See after the Essendon game. I'll call it too early.
Yeah.
I want at least 2 wins before the bye.
Make a prediction though. Right now, if you had to make a prediction,
based on form and the way we're playing and the injuries we have, I reckon we're in trouble. If that's going off now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with Carl. The way we're playing at the moment, injuries or not, is not good enough for top 4 at all. Like, I think right now top 4 is out of the question altogether. Top 8 is a possibility. Maybe
we're only a couple of games behind, but it's just.
We are, yeah. But we've got Gold Coast is no certainty this week. I know they suck away from the northern hemisphere, but any other state, they haven't won a game yet. I'm pretty sure they haven't. So whilst that is the case, there's still no certainty. There's no certainty we're gonna beat them. And then after that, we've got Port, who miraculously beat Hawthorn. Hawthorn really should have won that.
What a win!
Yeah.
Amazing.
I can't believe that.
And then after Port, we've got Essendon, who's in fine form, absolutely fine form at the moment. If we were to play Essendon this week, we'd lose.
Essendon haven't. I still think Essendon haven't played quality in a run of quality. So like they had GWS over here. I still think they've had a very fucking easy run.
Essendon play good football though, George. I hate fucking saying that, but they're playing a good brand of footy.
Got a good system.
Yeah. I refuse to even think of losing to them.
I'm not sold on Essendon. I think Essendon's like a quality. They're quality, but I'm not sold on them being like the real deal yet. I just think
what's scary.
They've had quite an easy draw.
What's scary is you got the likes of it. All right, let's say they're playing okay footy. They're playing better footy than us. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got Hawthorn. You got West Coast. You got these guys that we're sort of sitting around and just sort of below that are playing good football. and I'm yet to see us put in,
Right.
a solid 4-quarter effort. So, yeah.
I think like injuries have really taken its toll. I don't want to use it just as an excuse, but I think that we're still mathematically absolutely possible for top 4. Right? There's still a long time to go. We've got a fairly easy run. Easy run. A fairly easier run than what we've had in the most recent, especially in the most recent month. I think I was reading Fox Sports. They claim it's 18th hardest or whatnot, like one of the better runs, but it's an easier run, I would say, on the way to finals than what we've sort of faced. So we've gone through a tough patch with a number of injuries. I think we're going to get a number of players back. I still have us at just around that 4th, 5th, 6th spot because I think we'll bank a lot of wins on the way to the finals. We'll get a really good number of players back, and I still don't think we've been playing ultra convincing in any of our wins. So I look at the Brisbane win, I look at the Richmond win, I look at the Freo win. None of them were 4-quarter efforts and convincing. I still don't think we played our best football. I think.
But do you take that as a positive, George? Because I don't.
I take it as a glass half full to say that I'm optimistic that we can reach to that level. We can reach a higher level. So based
on what? Based on last year.
But well, not just last year. I still think we've taken a step ahead of last year. Younger players, more games into the system. Players coming in like Elijah, and younger players getting more experience under their belt. But I honestly feel like the best is yet to come this season because I really feel like we haven't seen proper 4-quarter efforts and the best football that we know we're capable of. We've done it in bursts. And that's won us these games. Now, like this week is pivotal. You got to get back and just do the business, right? I know I doubt we're going to play 4 quarters. I'll put my hand up. We're going to win. I don't think we're going to play 4 quarters though. Against Essendon, that'll tell us a lot. And we match up like we always have an interesting matchup against them as well. So I don't want to think about it because it reminds me of last year and I get angry. But is the bye? It's Port and then it's Essendon and then is it a bye after Essendon?
Yeah. But we still got Geelong again. We still got Collingwood again. We play Port Adelaide again. And even if we do beat these shitter teams, what's the point if we're going to struggle to beat these shit teams? Like, oh yeah, we want to be in finals, but you want to beat it, you want to fucking do something in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's confidence. I think that's also like talent. You got to get the talent out there. I think once we've got the talent out there, it's just clear to me that we don't bat as deep as we thought we did. I thought
that's for sure.
At the start of the year, I thought we've got a bit of depth.
It's been tested though.
It's been really tested, and I don't think we're passing that test as far as depth goes. And I just think we're playing 2 men down at the moment when you got Durden and Fantasia in the team.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that teams would be putting matchups on them that they can just run off them because they know they're not going to. But the effort's not there, the desire's not there, the skill isn't there, the talent's not there. Like I don't know why they're there. So I don't know. Like surely you could chuck someone from the VFL. They're going to do better than that. And if they don't do better than that, well then you know what? You've got another Corey Durden, but at least you've got game time into him. So I don't know, man. I don't see the benefit. And we're going to learn a lot about Voss this week with selection, I feel.
Yeah. It's a
coach.
It's a big game.
I mean with this at the selection table.
Oh no, in every facet, in every aspect, right? Lou Foligno summed it up perfectly here. The shit's going to hit the fan if we lose to the Suns. People were saying Voss can't coach, no game plan, no plan B or C, sack Voss.
No.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
People need to chill out.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme there.
Really.
People need to chill out. I still have faith in Voss.
We made a prelim last year, yeah?
Exactly.
I've lost it. I've lost it, man. I have lost the plot. What's the system? I was a big believer about the system. And all
Yeah,
the
the
rest of it.
Sega. What happened to the Sega, bro?
Fuck me, mate. I don't know. It's
Look,
scary.
all we need to do is we need to win at least another 12 games and we should be all right.
How many games left?
Probably 5.
I've got a prop just for you, Mus.
Oh, the old Sigma system. Is that built in Alex the Kid?
I don't know about built in. The cartridge thing is empty, but
I'll give
No,
you
no,
pieces.
no. They come built in, Alex the kid.
really, I need
Yeah.
the
Does
wires.
that work,
If anyone has
George?
the wires, I need the cables. So if anyone's got,
We
a
need to
Sega
talk
Master
about this.
My cables will
Talk
give you
offline.
30.
Talk offline.
Nazir bringing back some dark memories here, especially with the news that Weitering may or may not be injured. Lewis
say it.
Young is going to come in and haunt us again.
He didn't train today, so that tells you he's not playing this week.
Maybe they're just resting him, so he does play.
Sam Durden.
Yes.
Just do it.
Nigel
I don't care.
Thornberry.
Do it.
It's not going to be Sam Durden, though. We know that, but it's going to be Lewis Young. Let's not talk about that now.
Don't. I don't want a bad buzz.
Let's depress
on
ourselves
Monday
in
night.
another 2 Fridays.
That is the true Monday blues.
We can't have a team with Lewis Young, Corey Durden, and Fantasia.
No. Who said that?
No,
I'll
you were
drop
not allowed.
Fantasia. I'll drop
No.
Fantasia. And I'll bring in Lewis Young.
But Lewis Young plays good when Weitering's not around.
Nah.
He does.
We
I
saw
mean,
when
we
he,
were what?
Yeah.
4 and zip or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
yeah, with Heartstopper wins. No, thank you.
Doesn't matter. Win's a win.
Hey, I'll take
Sure.
like a heart stopping
I'll
win
take a win and a
over
fucking
smashing.
I hate this team so much sometimes.
We need to let's meditate.
At Kerno's camp. Now, and look, going after the second and the third quarter, and then Sydney piling it on, I just think we just looked slow. Speed just wasn't there. They were all over us. And once Weitering went off, I just felt like the defensive structure crumbled, man.
Yeah, it did.
And then when you're dropping guys like Cowan, I'm not knocking the selection and whatnot, but when you're dropping guys like Cowan that give that effort and that grunt in the back line, and they're walking goals in.
Did anyone say that goal? I don't know who it was, where it come in long and it went over. I think it was Marchbank, and it bounced. Weitering doesn't let that through.
There's a number of goals he doesn't let through.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
How good was our tackling?
Excellent.
What tackling?
They were literally walking through our tackles. It was like we couldn't stick anything. It was like
Hey, we missed
Sydney's a young side, right? And they just look double our size. They look like men compared to us. Men compared to our men. I don't know, man.
See, on the tackling, I didn't mind in that first quarter. I think, well, to be honest, the stat was Sydney 17 to our 4. And I'm like, you know what? They're tackling because we're first to the contest. We're first to the ball, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't mind that because I'm like, we've got the numbers. We've got the scores on the board. We're getting the scores on the board. And we're first at it. And then we've got numbers around the footy. So even if we're getting tackled, we're still getting the second ball and the hard ball get. But that number just kept projecting higher and higher. We weren't doing any better. So I know Andy, you were saying, the team that gets to 80 tackles is going to win. We're far off the pace. Like I didn't mind it in the first because we were making the most of it, but then they just absolutely went to town on us. And the speed of which way they were breaking out of the contest.
It was the ease. It was just there was no hunger to tackle. It was just we were just letting them through our hands. It was so hard to watch. It was really hard to watch.
There was a moment early on in the first quarter. I'm going to bring up our best, our most favorite player, Corey Durden, at the moment. He tried to bump, I think it was Warner, or maybe another one of their midfield. I can't remember who it was, but he went to bump them off the ball, and instead, and he went flying the other way.
Luck of Ben.
Oh my god, that was bad.
What did you guys think of Warner getting a fine for his elbow?
I needed that, man.
Suspended.
I got the Warner Brownlow. I think we both got the Brownlow predictor. We need Warner to get off.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I mean, that's clearly to me a big name getting let off a bit.
That's basically a punch.
Yeah, because if that was Cottrell, if that was a Cowan, he's copping weeks.
If that's Toby Green, that's 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I was actually.
I think because he continued and he stayed on the ground and didn't really get impacted at all. I don't think anyone even went to him.
Well, that's
I
the
think
thing.
that's
Are they going to outlaw the action, or is it purely result based?
I think
they
keep saying
I
it's
think they
not
look
on
at
outcome,
everything.
but it is on outcome now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been suspended, man.
It should be action, regardless of
Absolutely.
Impact-
if you're serious about protecting the head, you can't let people go around just elbowing people in the head.
No, 100%. 100%.
Mm.
Now the end of the game came, and I don't know. It was just like, well, is this going to be another wasted year? Are we really going to have to go on this massive run once again to make finals? And I don't think that's going to happen. But can you blame anyone really for starting to think that now? With teams like Gold Coast and Essendon and those that were kind of outside of the 8 last year, sitting in the top 8 at the moment, with us sitting outside of it. We've got them coming up. Can you blame anyone for thinking that? Probably not.
No comment.
No.
I think we'll be fine. The next 2 weeks will say a lot.
We also have some footage of. Now, I don't know if this was during the game, Andy. You may want to clarify. I don't know if this was during the game or after the game. It was obviously a really shit game to watch. Would have been painful. But you let me know what you think. This is footage of Andy. You just clarify for us before I play it, actually, Andy. Was it during the game or after the game?
What are we talking about? The footage.
The footage.
Oh yeah, this was about halfway through the third quarter. I had to wash my eyes out from what I was seeing. I want to thank Carl for that, because that was actually last night. We were just testing the new software and going through everything, and my eye was just, as I had surgery on my eye, so I was just using the eye drop, and now I just hear Carl going off in the background.
That wasn't a filter. That's what happened to Andy after watching Carlton. And you can't blame him. Now,
Lucy, all right?
Everybody say hi to Henny.
G'day, Henny.
Sure. Henny.
Hello, Cat.
Can you play forward pocket?
Say meow.
Let's get on to the votes.
Yes.
For those watching along, let us know who your votes go to. 1 vote, 2 votes, 3 votes.
3 to Henny.
Start with you.
I'm going to firstly say they're all a bunch of dogs, just quietly. You know what? I don't even know, man. Look, I'm going to start with the 3. 3 goes to Nick Newman. He was having a first quarter. I think he had like 14 touches, man. He was a
ripper.
Yeah,
played 4 quarters too.
Yeah. He was good. He was real good. Probably Cripps too. He get him too.
I think he went at under 50%. He went under 50%.
Everyone's votes here.
Everyone was shit, man. Someone can pick my 1 vote from the chat. Straight up. Who should I give my 1 vote to? Someone help me, man. Give me a chop out. First person that gives me one vote, they can just go with that vote there.
All right, one.
Newman. Newman gets another one.
Nah, I'll give it to Kennedy. Kennedy gets my 1 vote.
Kennedy. All right.
So you've got one for
1 Kennedy, 2 Cripps, 3 Newman.
All right, and just because we got to show off our new little functionality here.
Tell your cat I said, pss, pss, pss. Henny. SMK 27 says, pss, pss.
Carl's votes.
Not happy.
Excellent.
Oh, fair out.
I love how when we hit an hour, we just go off rails a bit. I love it.
Yeah, Cripps was rubbish.
Everyone was rubbish. That's why I struggled to vote.
It was 45%, I think it was, or 42%. Who's next?
Moose.
I don't know what that song is, but I'm going to give 3 to Newman, 2 to Elijah, 1 to actually Morris. Gee whiz. What Morris has. I'll take one of those, please.
What's that?
3 to Newman, 2 to Elijah, and 1 to Akers.
Very well.
That's my votes.
Andrew Russell won.
I'm gonna.
Liam Sumner 2, Jed Lamb 3.
I'll go 1 to. Oh wow, Liam Sumner. We could have a whole episode.
We had some spuds, man.
We can have a whole episode of just naming names that make us shiver. Hey, just a whole episode of it.
Josh
The
Bootsma.
Monday spuds.
We'll do an
remember that
episode
guy?
on that.
Remember that rainbow guy?
Viojo,
Did he?
Viojo Rainbow,
Who?
Yeah,
Vajojo
we had a guy
Rainbow.
called fucking Rainbow.
Dylan Viojo
did he-
Rainbow.
Did he play a game?
No,
He
man.
was in, he
Surely
was in the
not.
crowds, apparently.
It was
My favourite is Digby Morell. That's my favourite pickup.
Digby Diggers. I still got his footy card, Diggers. I was sharing some photos in the group chat. What was it the other week? And I got photos of like old Carlton training sessions. So I've got to dig these up. I've got to share these, but these are funny. But Clinton Benjamin and Jed Anderson's brother, Joe Anderson, Mark Austin, Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer. That
yeah.
bloke.
Back
Oh,
Paul.
bro, first thing,
Backwards.
everything he did was just get the ball, go backwards. Like he never looked forward. It was like it was a directive from whoever dud coach was coaching us then to just go back. Always. Someone said I help him before. Remember when he
Me.
kicked
Yeah, I did.
Cloak.
Cloak.
Yeah.
kicked him and
He punched him, then kicked him, didn't he?
yeah. Knocked him
Yeah.
out.
The 1-2
Yeah.
combo. Sorry. I'll go. It's like an insult to even give him this week, to be honest. But one Lige, liked him growing into his role and doing okay.
You don't need to give us any spills today, George.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for all the reasons George said. Nah, it's not going to happen today. 2 Acres, 3 Newman. It's just because I have to.
Bad.
How about the names going off in the chat? PTSD right here.
Oh, well, this hurts.
Oh, your favourite, and it was a Cam Paulson.
Which one? Cam Paulson?
Was it was Paulson 29 after Scotland?
Do you remember Sam Rowe?
Yeah.
No, Sam was formidable for a little bit.
Couldn't kick, just a punch. That's all he gave us. Good spoil. My votes are 3 to Newman. I honestly don't know. Like I'm with you boys. Like I don't know. Maybe Elijah Hollins gets a 1, and you know what? Give Elijah Hollins 2. I'll give 1 to Cripps because he tried.
Battled.
That's it. He tried. I
He
saw
came
him
to the game.
He looked
was there.
upset. He looked upset. He was, he was frustrated. I don't know.
right.
It was such a bad game.
That was one of our worst games in a while.
I was just about to say that, Carl. I don't think we've had a game like that since before Teague, I reckon, where it's felt horrid. Oh, maybe the Essendon game last year, but we didn't get smashed. But yeah, it's so different. Jared Pickett, Michael Jamison with his dumb double punch. I thought Jamo was all right.
Jamo was well. Jamo was good, I think, for us because poor Brett Thornton, who just dealt with gorillas week in week out during our really dark years. Jamo came in was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
What was that? Trent Spawn?
Let's call our mate Matty
way
Watson.
back now.
Call our mate Matty Watson to fill in the back line. He'll do a much better job than Lewis Young. Matty,
yeah.
100%.
Get around to Paco.
All in the back line, I reckon.
Lou Felino. I was there, boys. Looked worse live on the weekend.
Wow.
Well,
Can imagine.
Rough. We were planning to go, but surgery kind of threw everything up for myself and
lucky you
Moores.
didn't.
We were supposed to go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I was
Kind of a
thinking of his shoulder.
Blessing, yeah. Aaron
Mark?
Mullet.
Is it just me left?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
on the top corner.
Yeah.
What's that?
You gonna go?
I don't know.
Anyway.
What?
One to Ricotta, 2 to Elijah, 3 to Newman.
Mm.
Nice. Great success.
Yeah,
Aiden,
it wasn't.
Andy would have jumped Durden. Nah,
Yeah. Jeez.
we don't do violence around here. Absolutely not.
Peter V. Bluebagger, special mention to a Miles Wigglestop. Mustard coloured Wigglestop. Thank you very much, Peter Bluebagger.
It's not even mustard. It's more like a snot green.
That's
khaki.
green.
Looks khaki.
Khaki?
Yeah.
It's a khaki colour. I'm actually concerned for Morris's mustard. I'd like to see what kind of mustard you're having
I think it's moldy.
and what the use by
Mild,
date is.
mild English. Mild English.
It's more of a snot green, I said.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Hey, this is why we do it. Seriously, this is why we do it. We got to laugh through the pain, right? So I hope
Absolutely.
for 100 plus of you guys joined in, and whoever watches this after, you
It's
got to laugh through the pain. Yeah. This is why this channel was formed. So
Amal
let's remember that.
from Morris. Amal, you'd love my mustard.
Okay. On that,
Yeah.
Morris is a great chef. I'm just putting it out there. He actually invited me over for some steaks and cigars a few weeks ago. So thanks again for that,
on you,
Morris.
Morris.
The mustard wasn't green. I'm just going to put it out there.
Lebowski.
What's mustard anyway? Yuck.
Amal is like the
I like mustard.
He's, just
Mustard on
plain,
steaks.
No Carlton
Probably good
decor,
breath.
baby poop green t-shirt, etc.
yeah,
I do need to work on my my background. I'll get something up. I'll get this up. This is a signed mini Sharon from Adam Sard. I'll just put it up here.
Anyone notice my hat's gone from the corner? No one noticed that.
Yeah, where's it gone?
It's
My
being shipped to
son-
my house.
The ball at it.
Oh,
What? You what?
It shattered. It shattered.
No, it landed on the chair. I gotta put it back up.
Oh,
Jeez.
which one?
all right.
Son. It's the only one that'll do it.
Isaac.
Gets 100%. Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac's the menace.
Yeah.
Well, gents, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Aiden said, "What about a poster of Durden?"
Yeah, in the toilet.
The
Find me
dartboard.
one.
Just a
Find me one.
dartboard.
I'll put it up. It's been a pleasure. For those watching along, thank you for joining. We're looking forward to the preview. It's a big game coming up. Baggers up against the Suns at Marvel Stadium on Saturday. We'll be going live for the preview Thursday night after the teams have been released. We hope to see you all there.
Not yet,
and then-
Georgie. Before we go, you got a sponsor to plug, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. As always, as well. Big thank you for getting around us. It actually enabled us to jump on this new streaming platform, which is so big thank you to Blues Crypto. Mal, if you just want to pop that in the chat. As always, big thank you to bluescrypto.com for getting around us. More info on bluescrypto.com. So any potential investors, budding investors, experienced investors, it's an exciting investment opportunity. Get around bluescrypto.com. Really appreciate you getting around us. It enabled us to get on the streaming platform, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up. I think we'll be doing a big shout out to everyone who's gotten around our TikTok as well. We just hit 3,000 last week, 3,000 followers. So thank you everyone. Of course, milestone of 1,000 on Instagram last month, 1,000 on YouTube a couple months ago. So I think we're planning a little bit of a giveaway. We got to do something for our loyal watchers. So really appreciate you getting around us, guys, and thank you Ur and bluescrypto.com for being our first ever sponsor. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, Ur.
No, great success.
Righto. Until the preview. Thank you, and it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, everyone.
Sicky now.